Well, good morning. Welcome to the channel. My name's Jack Porter. This is the Moto Mogul channel. If you've not visited the channel before, then you won't know any different. But if you are a regular viewer to the channel, you'll be saying to yourself, what the hell are you doing on that? Okay, it's not difficult to get your head round. I needed a bike for commuting. I was just putting dead miles on Roxy because I commute to work every day on the bike. So I needed something a bit cheaper, something that I could maintain myself, and something that wasn't going to cost me a fortune in literally everything to keep running and to run into the ground as well, because we're now coming into the British winter time. I've had my eye on a Himalayan for quite a while, and this one presented itself. It's a 2019 Himalayan with, wait for it, 940 miles on the clock. Whether that clock's been swapped or doctored or whatever, I really don't know. But to be honest, you know, there's not a lot you can do to find that out, is there? I don't think it has. The previous owner was about 78, 79 years old, lived on the Isle of Lewis, traded it in for a Morris 1000 Traveller with the guy that I bought it off. So, you know, who knows the exact history of the bike. But I've got the service history, and it all seems above board, but who knows. Anyway, she's mine now. We'll have a stop in a bit and I'll go through, you know, I'll show you round the bike and I'll go through the whole process of actually buying the bike, which is a story in itself. But to be honest, I am really happy with this little Himalayan. It's an engaging little bike. I've done a bit of tinkering with it. I've given it a good scrub because it was filthy. It lived on the island of Lewis up in the Outer Hebrides there, so there are only on the nuts and bolts and, you know, on a little bit of superficial rust here and there, but it's to be anticipated, isn't it, in, you know, a sea island atmosphere. I'm not mad keen on this screen, so this is the tall power bronze screen. I don't really like that at all. So I think I'm going to purchase a standard Himalayan screen for her. Let's face it, it hasn't got the power that Roxy's got, my GS, my 1250 GS, of course. This is a 411cc bike. Of course it hasn't, you know, and that's part of the charm for me. Since posting on, I posted on Facebook into one of the Himalayan groups, and since posting on there, the amount of people that have commented on the bike, you know, saying brilliant, welcome to the club and all the rest of it, and have offered me advice, thank you so much already, thank you so much. I will be asking questions all the time. So yeah, thank you already for your support, guys and girls. All guys at the moment. Any girls out there, please feel free to join in. Yeah, it's lovely. It turns in so well, actually. It turns into the corners really well. You don't have to bully it, you don't have to do anything like that. So when I took it out yesterday, I just took it to get some new clean fuel because it was down to the red line on the fuel gauge. So I thought, well, I'll go and get some clean fuel because I don't know how long the fuel's been in. And it did feel a bit lumpy, you know, starting it up. It was a bit lumpy, to say the least. This is actually a bike with a carburettor. It's not fuel injected. It's even got a choke. Look at that. It's got an actual choke. Next year I'm planning on Dumfries and Galloway and, well, the whole Borders region, Dumfries, Galloway over to Northumberland on this. I'm going to buy some soft panniers. But yeah, I am planning on doing a week in the Borders on this because it's all going to be country lanes. The lanes are very much like the ones I'm on now. This bike is just so ideally suited to that sort of riding. So country lanes all the way up, all the way back, all the time on there. I'm so looking forward to that already. So if anybody lives in the Borders region, got any good nice roads for me to ride, I've already got a load in the bank from the last time I went up there, because I've already done Northumberland. Check out those videos. I've already done Dumfries and Galloway. Check out those videos, but they were all done on the GS. So yeah, I'm planning on a much more sedate tour next year. So primarily its job is going to be commuting, and then anything else I want to do. We're going to go and do a little bit of off-road this morning. I'm sure there's an Enduro Pro switch on here somewhere. We'll have a look in a bit, eh? Morning, gents. So starting tomorrow, I will, no, not tomorrow because I'm off tomorrow, but starting Tuesday and right the way through the winter now, I will be commuting solely on this, unless I have a problem, obviously, and then I'll have to resort to getting the big guns out. Ergonomically, I don't know whether you can see that, it's really quite comfortable. Knees have got a nice bend, they're not too acutely angled. It's absolutely perfect for this kind of riding round these kind of lanes. It's just absolutely superb. Couldn't want for better, really. You don't need the power of a GS to ride round round roads like this. This is just wholly adequate, and it's just so nice. I mean, if I was riding the GS, I'd be doing the same speed that I'm riding on this. So it has its place, the GS, and you know, when I go to Picos, obviously that's what I'll be taking, but for rides domestically in the UK, and yeah, I mean, I just don't need anything else. There she is. What a little beauty. So, interesting story about this. So this bike cost me, well, it was for sale for $2,995. Now, I emailed the guy who was selling it. This was on eBay, and I emailed the guy who was selling it, and I said, look, I'll send you £500 as a deposit. Will you let me have the bike for $2,800? And he messaged me back and he said, the closest I can get to that offer is $2,900. And I thought, well, you know, that's not too bad. That's 95 quid off. You know, it's not a highly priced bike, is it? So I accepted the offer. I sent him the £500. He sent me the receipt for the bike and the deposit. And on his paperwork, he'd put 2,800 less £500 leaves 2,300. So I must have planted the seed in his mind, because I got the extra 100 quid off anyway. I mean, jammy or what, but you know, I'm going to take it every day of the week. So not only that, I couldn't get to him. I went down to view the bike, paid the remainder. He never said anything about you know, the extra 100 quid, so I didn't obviously remind him. I then said, look, I'm not going to be able to actually get over to you to pick it up on when it was going to be ready. So he said, no, that's fine. He says, we can deliver it for you, but that'll be another 50 quid. So the only way I could get to him was by train. I would have needed to catch a train from where I live to Nottingham, and then a train from Nottingham to Kettering, and then get a taxi from Wellingborough, which is the closest place, I think, where the train gets in, over to where he is. That would have cost me easily 50 quid. The train fares alone were 35 quid. So I said, yeah, okay, 50 quid, that's not bad. Yeah, I'll go with that. I'd already saved a considerable amount of money. So they delivered it on Friday. They delivered it Friday. He never asked for the money and I never paid him. So go figure, you know. How do these people stay in business? I have no idea. Anyway, there she is. with you know, the the £195 off and the free delivery, I'm chuffed to bits. I couldn't be more happy, to be honest with you. Yeah, I tell you, I'm really pleased with this bike. I think the mileage is genuine. I don't think there's any reason for me to doubt it, to be honest. Just looking at the state of the bike, it could have been better looked after by the person who had it before, but to be honest, after a good wash, you know, it ain't bad at all. It really ain't bad at all. I've got no reason to doubt that, you know, below 1,000 miles. I topped it up with oil yesterday. I know they use quite a bit of oil. I'm really happy with it. Let's get back on it and ride it. I'm sick of talking. It's so much easier to move around because it's so much lighter than the GS. It is so much easier to move. So let's go up this lane here. So this is a little back road that I've done on Roxy, I've done on the Africa Twin. So come on, let's get this done. Yeah, it just isn't bothered about much at all, really. Oh god, water just shot straight up my leg and filled my boot. Oh dear. Oh, and it's running down into my other boot now. Oh, lovely. Lovely. Oh, it just handles this stuff dead easy. It feels better on this than the GS. Not troubled by it at all. Oh wow. Well, this is a bit of a revelation because this is so good on this loose stony stuff. On the GS, you just, I mean, I'm even sitting down on it. It's that easy to negotiate on this. On the GS, you know, you're standing up the bike, squirming around everywhere. This is just taking it in its stride. It's just like, yeah, what's next? What's next, mister? Because this is nothing. Yeah, this is just so easy. So easy. Oh god, this is going to be so much fun, this bike. Get over that side. Let's get over that side. It came up on the other side, so let's go down on this side. I've seen videos of people riding these things in the Himalayas and, you know, just making really rocky paths look like a doddle, and now I completely understand why. I mean, this has got normal pressures in the tyres. I did that last night, so 27 in the front and 34 in the rear. I mean, if you are on lanes like this, and it doesn't feel like they're over pressure at all. Often when I'm riding the GS, I think to myself, when I'm on lanes like this, I should really let some pressure out because they do feel hard under the bike, whereas this just doesn't at all. They feel nice and squashy and grippy and, you know, absorbing the bumps and just dealing with it. It's just I tell you what, it's a little revelation. Yeah, it's a much cheaper bike. It's much more basic. It's, you know, everything about it is economy compared to the GS. But wow, it's just brilliant fun. It's never gonna replace Roxy. I've said that earlier. It's never gonna replace Roxy. Why would it? You know, I love Roxy. I think, you know, I've ridden quite a few bikes now and reviewed a few of the newer ones out there. I can't see a bike, for me, I mean, other people are going to disagree, but just for me, I can't see another bike that I want to replace Roxy with, to be honest. So no, I'm not going to swap her because I just love that bike. I love that GS. It does everything I want and much more. And it, you know, I get that the whole thing that, you know, yeah, it's not as fast as the KTMs or whatever, you know, it's not the multi-strada, yeah, whatever. I'm not interested in all that power. I just like to ride, and I like to sit on a bike that I just enjoy riding. I'm not bothered about having the most power, the best cornering speed, all, you know, the whatever, all of the electronic gadgetry. I'm just not interested in that at all, the tech. And sitting on this little bike, you know, with none of that tech on it, it's giving me so much pleasure. It's giving me so much pleasure. I love it. Absolutely love this bike already. This morning I wired up a dedicated, I don't know whether you can see it down there, there's a dedicated USB socket with 2 USB ports on it that are wired directly into the battery, so that camera there it's got dedicated power supply from the battery. It doesn't really matter whether I leave it on, you know, when I get off the bike or not. It's not going to drain the battery of that much power. So speed wise, I mean, I got this bike yesterday up to 70 miles an hour without too much difficulty, to be honest. I mean, it will do 70. And people said to me online, it will sit all day at 70 miles an hour. I'm sure it will. I don't particularly want to ride it like that though. Thank you. There'll be a lot of lanes like this up in where I'm going next spring, into the border region. I'm going to be looking specifically for lanes like this. I want some nice views. Oh, I'll tell you where else I'm going to go, and I'm going to spend more time on it because I was criticised, quite rightly, I think, last year, no, this year it was earlier this year. Oh, look at that little white thing. Yeah, I did the Raiders Road, but I just razzed it. I went from one end to the other, you know, I was going quite quickly because it was the end of the day. I was completely shattered. I stumbled across it, and basically I was in need of a bit of a lie down because I was absolutely knackered. So yeah, I did razz it from one end to the other without stopping. Now I know there's interesting things along that road, and next year when I go up there in the spring, I will definitely be doing that road, hopefully on a day like today, stopping at otter pools, and you know, I know there's is it a viaduct that goes across the end of it? Yeah, I'm definitely going to be doing some stopping there, so rest assured there will be some interesting stuff on that trip. Anybody else know any other roads, especially the forest trails? Are there any other forest trails that are open at the moment or are open next year that I can go and do up there? Because this bike is just going to be superb along those trails. So if you know any roads up there, if you live up there and you want to meet me and take me down those roads, then yeah, let me know. Drop it in the comments below or message me. I will post my social media stuff at the end of the video like I usually do. So yeah, leave that information there for me. If you want to meet me, I'm already going to meet Mad Dave. I'm going to go up and meet Mad Dave, who's on, well, it's X now, isn't it? I still prefer to call it Twitter. He's on Twitter, and we often have a bit of chat, don't we, Dave? Yes, we do. So yeah, I'm going to meet Mad Dave. I have no idea when this is going to happen yet. In November this year I've got hip surgery, so I'm going to be out of action for a while, but while I'm recovering from that, I'm going to do some jobs on the bike. I'm going to get all the kit to well, possibly do a full service on it actually. I know it's had a service, and according to that, you know, we've only done 975 miles on it, so it shouldn't really need another service. But I think I'll get a filter. I may just change the oil anyway, oil and filter, air filter. I'll take a look at the front and rear pads. I'll get some new ones ready for changing, because they will need changing at some point, so it's not like I'm wasting my money. Yeah, just get everything ready to do that. And I also will be doing the valve clearances myself. I've seen the videos. How difficult can that be? It does feel like, you know, riding this bike. When I first got on it, I thought to myself, it's a bit like stepping back in time, and it really is a bit like stepping back in time. There's no, you know, there's no tech on it. Literally, there's a bit of LCD stuff going on there, but and there's ABS front and rear, but other than that, there's no traction control. You know, there's no modes. You can't put it into sports mode or, you know, off-road mode. It's in those modes. It's dedicated to those modes. It's simplicity itself. Right, so hope you've enjoyed this, folks. If you have, please give me a like, give me a subscribe. Anyway, that's me. I'm done. I'll see you on the next video, guys. Bye for now.